we all know that Jerremy Alexander Newsom will become Forrest Gump in his lifetime. Why he trains the way he does, you'll find out in this episode. Jerremy Alexander Newsom, you are a little crazy, in my opinion. I have seen you do this thing called a calendar club multiple times. You're running all these businesses, you're coaching all these people, you're a husband, you're a father, and yet you're running like 7 trillion miles. You just did you literally did 100-mile, like what? And then right now you're doing a push-up calendar club, which you made up, which means 100 extra push-ups every day. So you did 2,600 push-ups yesterday. The question is, why? To extend and expend how much time and energy to doing something physical like that? Like, how, does that help your business? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's a valid question, truly. And I think from a generic standpoint where someone's going, okay, if you're spending all this time doing it, there's no way that's helping XYZ. I mean, that has to be a waste of time.
It could be.
It seems like it could be a ginormous waste of time, right? I won't say it's not, but I will say this. My direct proportion of growth is always connected to how many people I can inspire. And one of my callings is to inspire both men and women to accomplish things that they can't quite seem to figure out how they can do it. How do you achieve this thing? So the push-ups, great example. A lot of times when people say, all right, you're doing 2,600 push-ups, and their brain is going to immediately go to, you sit down and you knock out 2,600 push-ups at a time. That's impossible. So the brain goes, I can't do that. But if I get to tell them, well, what if you do 20 push-ups every 8 minutes for 12 hours? Is it now more possible? Is it now more doable? What if you just think about things differently? So for me, the physical challenges really strives and boils down to, number one, becoming a better version of myself, because I love to push myself to my physical limits to see where I am at and what I can change as a possibility. But number two, I know that it inspires other individuals because it gives people a hope that if I can do that, they can do that.
Yeah.
And now I can take a gift of mine, which is explaining essentially complex topics and making it easy. That complexity for people can get unraveled and shifted in their brain where they can go, wait a minute, now I can also do truly XYZ, whatever that might look like. Because the running calendar club was insane. So that was this past December. That was my second time finishing. It was in the month of December. Most of it was cold. Most of it was raining. And I still did Christmas Eve. I still did Christmas. I still did the day after Christmas. I still spent time with family. Although I had to wake up at 3 a.m. and go to sleep at midnight, right? I had to figure out how to push through and make it. When I was there, I was there. And when we were planning things, I was planning things. But when you create a schedule that is so incredibly packed, you'll start to figure out ways to prioritizing it better at your time.
It's so true.
Yeah. And that's what naturally happened is I had to get faster at replying to emails or texting or chatting with someone on the phone or having meetings. Because is it true, Britnie, that you could probably, if you had to, in your best guess, narrow down and shorten an hour meeting into 15 minutes and still get the exact same thing accomplished? Mm-hmm. I started figuring out ways to do that. I started to understand, okay, well, this 30-minute phone conversation, I can really make it in 10. Or I'll say no to all of these things and yes to the things that are an utmost priority. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. If you want to get something done, ask a busy person.
Mm-hmm. And there was a sign I saw once that said, the people in here are busier than you. And it was in front of a gym.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah, the people inside of here are busier than you.
Huh.
And they just make it a priority.
Yeah.
And I get inspired by other people because although I'm your friend and I'm the friend who most people are like, okay, this guy's nutty, I'm nothing compared to a lot of these ultra athletes that exist in the world that can, again, do all the businesses and the runnings and the races and the triathlons and still accomplish and still be there with their family because they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And Britnie, that's why I do it. The reason I'm doing it is to truly inspire courage, specifically in other men, and let them know that they have the time and they can make it a priority. They can do it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Love it.
Yeah. Now, I appreciate you asking, but there's one thing that I am legit terrified of doing. There's no way I could. That's why I say them right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, you know you're doing it next year now.
You entered a bodybuilding competition.
Yep. Again.
Why did you do that?
People do ask me that a lot. They're like, okay, you've got all these businesses, you're doing all these work around the world, and you're still competing. Like, you're not needing it for a modeling contract or, trying to get a supplement contract. Like, what are you doing? And for me, I've always loved like biohacking. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I won't prioritize things unless there's a real deadline sometimes. And so I really liked having the accountability to force me to learn about something that I really care about. So for me, I haven't always had I actually don't have a naturally driven mindset. I'll tell you that. I have to have really compelling reasons to make me do stuff. I'm not just like a naturally motivated person. So for me, my why has to be so clear, or I just don't do it.
You won't do it. You've asked me that a few times.
Why would you do it? And I've been like that since I was little.
Yeah.
Like, well, why? And my teachers hated me, but I need to know, or it doesn't matter. We've got so many things we can do. So the bodybuilding forced me to learn how to not only, of course, you get to look great, which is amazing, little side benefit, but it's how do I feel good? How do I have the energy? What is the truth? I used to really hate healthy people, quote unquote healthy people. I'm like, thanks. You want to feed me like a bunny and everything tastes like crap. And, we could all die in a car accident. So why does this matter? That sounds terrible to say it out loud. Yeah. But people that are obsessed with health annoyed the crap out of me.
Yep.
Because it was like so obsessive and selfish, and I thought. But I do realize it's so selfish to not invest in your health. Because how many people can I not help if I die 20 years early? From putting a bunch of crap in? And how many people do I not get to help if I play small forever because I don't have the energy to make the decisions or to lead or to, how does not having any energy or affect my marriage? How does it affect everything? And so to do those competitions, I would learn the truth behind what really is healthy for you and what's not, what creates results and what's not. And it was so fascinating to be able to take your body and physically morph it in ways that like build the body of your dreams through education. So you really can change your shape. The only thing you can't change is your height, but you can change the shape.
Yes.
It's amazing without surgery.
Right.
It's really fascinating. So I loved learning that. And I took all of these elements that I learned in bodybuilding and I've added true health. And I'm good friends with Naveen Jain now, who invented Viome and the study of how your gut affects everything in your brain and how your brain health can actually you can get in front of having dementia. You can get in front of there's a lot of really cool technology available right now that why would you not figure out how to reverse aging so you can live longer and help more people? Like all that is available. So we've taken all that information instead of just kept it in my head. We actually turned it into the menu for the island. And the purpose of the food we have here is to elevate people and to connect them back to their mission and the earth and expose them to a new way of eating that makes them interested in diving into a new way of health. So we've got all of the brain food here on the island, and then we've got we mixed it with the body food. So you can actually physically have the breakthroughs that come with not having brain fog. And you don't even know you're sick until you feel good.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
You do not know you're sick until you feel good. And one of my favorite things about Naveen is he talks about, what if we could all live in a world where illness is optional? And we do live in that world. You have tools and tests, and it's not that complicated available to you. If you just do it and try it, then you can really deflect a lot of diseases that are trying to attach to your body. And if you're not riddled with disease, you really can help more people.
Mhm.
And so that's the idea, is all of you listening to this are wanting to elevate your life. You want to go from broke to woke. And your broke might be a mindset. It could be your health. It could be your relationships. It could be your wealth. But how can you get woke in those areas? And if you're not investing in your health right now, you're doing yourself and the world a disservice. This is not about, I need to be a perfect shape in order to be enough. Because really, we talk about this all the time. Nobody cares about you the way you need to care about you. Nobody's going to force you into hitting your goals, to fulfilling these dreams that are in your heart. Nobody cares enough to push you to do that, to force you into that. You have to do that. You have to care enough about you to be able to execute.
Huge. A lot of this is stemming from that belief of healthy people. Ironically enough, the rich person, right? Rich is a very divisive word. And so if I say, look at this rich person, they probably imagine someone in a specific car. The car is a specific color and they're dressed in some ridiculous way or whatever. And they're like, oh, this rich person. But healthy people, you mentioned you didn't like them.
No.
Because they were snobby and they had like this sense about them, this aura, and there's like blah, and they're boring. They talked about the exact same thing. The food tasted terrible and the dinner wasn't good. What's intriguing though is when you put yourself in that space, you put yourself in an environment where you had to. Yeah. Same thing with my running or, bear crawling 3.1 miles. You got to figure out, how can you recover from that?
Yeah.
That's the other key, is that a recovery, when you put your body through just an astronomical load, what are some of the steps? What can your brain do? My sleep right now is epic, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? There was a time where I had a really hard time sleeping. People that have insomnia, there's a good chance that you're not working out hard enough. Mm-hmm. There's a really good chance that your food isn't dialed in specifically. Being able to tweak and alter and adjust what you're eating, going through the project like Naveen with Viome, going through it and figuring out, what should I put in my stomach? What should I eat? That healthy approach, if you put yourself in that environment, you will learn new things. Essentially, the food here on the island at the Ariel is the best food I've ever had in my life. And you would agree with that. It is amazing. And last night's dinner with the salmon and like the peanut sauce and the eggplant and the squash fries. If somebody had told me I was going to eat squash fries with peanut sauce a few years ago, I'm like, you're a wild person. And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Because someone had the idea to tweak and adjust and update and alter. Mm-hmm. They don't stay in that perception of, this is exactly how it's going to be. I'm going to go and change that. Mm-hmm. So same thing with someone being healthy or someone doing extreme exercises. I want you all to hear this. It doesn't have to be because of what you think the society should view you as, like your physical body. It's about, can you achieve a little bit more, 1% to 2% more than you're doing now through proper hydration, through proper food intake, the things that you can do, the adjustments that you can make, and if you need to, the radical, massive mental adjustments that will have to be made, Britnie, if you go run a marathon or a double marathon.
I call it the spirit of avoidance. Mm-hmm. This thing that lurks up inside you that makes you take forever to get something done. The best part about these goals, literally, you plan your food like you plan your week. You plan when you're going to work out as if it's a non-negotiable rock in your day.
Yeah.
Like a meeting you can't miss.
Yeah.
And you, instead of just showing up to your week, you show up with intention. Everything gets more disciplined. Everything gets better. I'm the best me when I'm training for shows.
Hear her, folks.
I am. Am I busier? Yeah. Am I can't go out to dinner? No, it's never can't. I get to. Mm-hmm. I get to. And a little pro tip for me. Whenever I don't feel like doing something, I literally imagine myself 80-something years old, sitting on a rocker on a porch, telling my grandkids a story. And I asked myself, did I do that thing? Did I get to tell my grandkid that I did that thing? Or was I too tired?
Yeah.
Or did I just feel like eating this blah, blah, blah? I can't go another day without Jenny's ice cream. Like, what's the thing that's blocking me from being able to tell that story for fun? And again, you're not doing anything for anybody else. You're doing it for you. What is the thing you regret? I regret not learning breakdancing.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive myself for that.
Same here, actually.
Why have I not learned that?
Why have we should enter a breakdancing competition.
We need to do it. I really wish I would have learned that. And I know that it's not over. I could still do it. So if you see this showing up on my Instagram,
still time.
It could happen. But one of the things you need to start finding the push-ups, 20 push-ups every 8 minutes and start doing. What do you need to start planning into your week as a non-negotiable to make sure it happens? And that's what's really fun about that one-page plan we talk about all the time is here's the big goal. You can plug anything into it. Here's the big goal. How do I start
Chip away
today? And again, stopping a lot of times is limiting beliefs. One of the things that Jerremy talked about is I don't think I have time. Well, of course we do. Of course you can do that and do all the things. Just doing this doesn't equal being a bad blah. Like I can do these competitions and respond to disaster missions. I literally, the week before my competition, I was so excited. The earthquake in Haiti happened. And of course I'm going to respond to that. I'm not going to not go, but I'm also going to not miss that show if I can be back on time and still serve. So I got to do it. Did I win? It cost me winning. But I still got to do both. I still got to learn. I still got to accomplish my goals. So understanding how to prioritize your life and all the things you want to do into seasons, into quarters, into weeks, into days, into hours is going to be the thing that puts you over the top. And what you do in your free time is the great separator between you and normal people or people who live with broken dreams and never accomplish what they want. So what is your free time? Is it stuck on the bathroom, scrolling through things for 10, 20 minutes here? Is it staying up late and then you're too tired to get up? Like, what do you have to stop doing that's holding you back? Yeah, because I think in future episodes, I would love to talk about those extra 6 to 8 minutes that I can carve out of everyone's schedule, probably on a 2-3 hour basis. You carve out 6 minutes. What? That's an hour? A free hour a day that every single person on this earth has to devote to something amazing and inspiring. Let's talk about that in not only future episodes, but let's continue to talk about how every single person listening can and will become the best version of yourself by finishing Broke to Woke Season 2.